skid steer loader, Bobcat T190, and this machine has a problem. It shuts off occasionally, completely, in a way like someone disconnected main ground or main power from the battery. It doesn't matter if it's cold or warm, and after it shut it off, it won't restart, but then maybe in a 10-15 minutes it will start, sometimes not, and another day it might run just fine. Also, we know when it can happen when you drive over the bump or rock or hole and you hit something under the track. It just disturbs certain components inside the machine, and it shuts off completely, and then no restart, no power whatsoever. And yeah, what do you think where you started? Well, of course you started with the battery. Battery is fully charged, and because it's intermittent issue, you think it might be the connection somewhere, and you're possibly right. And I checked the battery, checked the connections of the battery at the posts, at the clamp, all seems to be intact. And I did all checks, make sure nothing's loose at the main ground, main power, and then what? And traced the cables, because everything looks clean, everything's tight. And by the way, if you have a bad cables, it will be a permanent issue, but it just acts up occasionally. And yeah, there's no rust, and everything looks okay at the battery side. And then what you do? And in this video I'm going to show you what I found and how I started diagnosing this issue. It might help someone, and yeah, you might have the same problem. Okay, let's get started. Started with the easy accessible parts. All right, and I went to check the constant battery power to the ignition switch. As you can see here, there's ignition switch with the 3 wires, and we're interested in red wire. Red wire actually is coming from this pin right here, and this pin powered by this red and white wire. Red wire with a white tracer, and number of this wire is 1220, and this wire should have a constant battery voltage. When battery is connected, you should see the voltage here. And I want to make it know there's on the machine it's multiple red wires with a white tracer, just the different numbers. Why Bobcat do that? Because different red wires with the white tracer, they supply power to different plugs, different accessories, just to keep a circuits separated. All right, and I of course checked the circuit board for any moisture intrusion, burn terminals, pins, and nothing's really wrong. I checked some continuity in between pins, and this red wire with white tracer is coming to this pin. There's nothing here, and I made some chart: faulty, faulty, good, faulty, and there's no power in any position, of course, because we don't have power when it's off even. Okay, and then I went here and checked power here on this plug, and this connector is going to instrument cluster, and no power when keys on or off, start crank position, nothing. Okay, went here, it's a little bit scuffed up, scratched the insulation, but nothing's broken here. I looked, it all looks good, and went here to some plugs. And by the way, this 1190 has power, and some plugs up here as well, they have power. They supplied from different source, like this 1130 for example. And about the easiest part is just to feed this power source to this wire and just you know, make easy fix. But our goal to find why we don't have power to this wire, and our machine just dead. Okay, let's go underneath and I will show you the next step, where we look for contact points. And over here, as you can see, where our cab lifts, those hydraulic lines and a wiring harness, it coils and bends a little bit. And over here we have wire number 1200. As you can see, this green ground wire is scratched, and I see the insulation is worn out. We have to fix that, but rather than that, it looks all nice and solid and all intact. All those things will get fixed, and then you go down, follow the wiring harness. And what I found was a tons of blue and black electrical tape, and I started taking it off, and certain things were kind of obvious. You look where the wiring harness or wires can potentially rub against sharp metal parts, and let's follow our wire, which is this guy over here. And remember that wire number 1200, this one, the wire number 1200, and it's coming here, and this wire is broken. It's only connected actually, it just, yeah, there's no even, yeah, it broke completely. And as you can see, it was rubbing for quite some time against the metal bracket. And let's connect our test light and see if we have a power on this side of the plug. Okay, I have my test light connected to the ground, and we have power. Of course, this wire is open, I won't have any on this side. And this number 1200 actually is feeding our switch up at the cab. And you can see multiple wires actually here damaged or partially damaged. Some were repaired. Yeah, it's not really, well, good quality wire repairs, like this, for example. It's another wire which needs to be fixed. And this guy is our let's see the number. Here's another wire, pink, light red, and I don't see the number on it. It's gone. But there's another example of wire rubbing against the metal, and you always start with a basic visual inspection to the, just use a test light, and you can find lots of things which is really obvious, like this. Don't need to be an expert. And yeah, I'm going to fix this wire, and we'll go from there. And also we get all wiring repaired. Make sure. Okay, let's see what we have. All right, we're off. Here we go. Now we're talking, baby. Good. Let's try to start. Yeah. Machine is running. Well, definitely working. Lights are on. Shut it off. Very nice. Okay, let's do it one more time. All right. Well, got it fixed. An open circuit. this video is helpful, please put a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions, ask them down in the comment section below, and I'm going to fix the wiring harness, get everything back. As you can see, it's all torn, and yeah, we should be good to go. And I will let you know down in the description if machine will act up again, but I think this is a fix. We're missing the 12-volt power to the ignition switch and nothing was turning on. Thank you so much for your time again, and see you soon. Bye-bye. Wiring harness is fixed, everything's secured, nothing's rubbing against the sharp metal edges, and yeah, skid steer loader should be good to go for years.